Imagine there was an app that allowed you to pretend to be anyone. Now imagine that app can be used to make fake nudes of everyone. Now imagine high school teenagers have got a hold of that app. No, it's not my next pitch for a Black Mirror episode, it's actually what's happening. Let's look at what a deepfake is, how teenagers are using them, and most importantly, what we can do about it. Part 1. What is a deepfake? A deepfake is a video or image that has been convincingly altered to misrepresent someone doing or saying something they've not actually said or done. Originally, they were used on celebrities like Obama, Morgan Freeman, or Putin to get them to say silly, potentially war-starting things. Incidentally, that is the only time those three names are said in the same sentence. Then, as with all new technology, somebody realized it could be used to make corn. But the less we say on that, the more likely it is that I won't get flagged. Because we, the great unwashed, for the most part turned a blind eye when it was just famous people, because it's just part of their job. That same technology is now being used on us normies, and in particular, teenagers whose moral compasses haven't quite developed yet. Although these images are largely being made by people who are around the same age, it doesn't mean they're only going to be seen by people in their teens. Also, every time you use these tools, you're helping train them to make better images in the future. And if all these data sets are using children, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out why that might be a problem. And even if it did, it wouldn't impress Shania Twain much. Part 2. What's happening? Male students at 4 American schools have used AI to create deepfake images of their female classmates.
Once more for the people at the back.
Teens are ripping images from social media accounts and then creating corn with them, and then sharing those images with their classmates. Welcome to the newest phase of cyberbullying. Oh, sorry. A recent report is pushing to reclassify leaking deepfakes as sexual violence, because bullying can be seen as harmless and just what happens in schools. So welcome to the new phase of sexual violence. They're not wrong. I feel dirty and I don't feel funny anymore. A recent survey showed that 15% of high schoolers have heard about deepfakes being passed around. And yeah, you can dismiss some of these as the teenage rumor mill, but that sort of misses the point. Part 3. What can we do about it? Not a lot. Republican Senator Ted Cruz and Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar, along with other politicians that you've never heard of, have co-signed a bill that would require social media companies to take down deepfake porn within 2 days of getting the report. The Take It Down Act would also make it a felony to distribute deepfakes. And yes, it is madness that that isn't already a law, but here we are. Come on, America! Even the Tory party managed to pass this law. If your images targeted adults, you could face up to 2 years in prison. But if your images targeted children, why? Why would you do anyway, if your images targeted children, you could face up to 3 years in prison, which is one small step for man, but not exactly a giant leap in deterring mankind. An Australian guy was recently found guilty of making deepfakes of adult women and got 9 years in prison. And I don't think that's enough. Google needs to start removing nude AI generators and deepfake nudes from their search results. And we know they can do this. They've already removed piracy sites from their search results. After all, Joe Biden is trying to put measures in place to prove which videos are real. Although that does overlook the fact that the altered videos are being made for people who don't care that they're fake. Let me just run a quick check on the White House blockchain to verify this video before I make my ill-informed Facebook comment. Said nobody ever. In positive news, the Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, is suing for 100,000 euros in damages over deepfake corn videos created by a father and son duo. What a lovely bonding activity. These videos showed her doing things that she would never do. So if we started making deepfakes of UK politicians, they'd actually do a full day's work and tax Amazon. I'm listening. Speaking of which, you could, now I don't think anyone should do this, nobody should do this, don't do this, but if someone did make a website that made it really easy to put politicians into corn, I'm pretty sure the legislation would get passed a lot quicker. And if you did do this, which again, I don't think anyone should do this, do not do this, I don't think anyone should get part in this, but if you did do that website, don't forget to put somewhere on the website that you did it to help protect the children, because they love things that help protect the children. Students are protesting and asking for the curriculum to be updated, and one of the schools was shut down until the head resigned, or there would have been a lawsuit. And some of the girls who had deepfakes made of them are bravely speaking out about their experiences to humanise the issue. An immediate thing that all parents can do is stop uploading photos of your children to the internet. Firstly, nobody cares, and secondly, and I can't stress this enough, nobody gives a shit, which you might say is the same point made twice. But I'd argue that the second point feels intrinsically different, and as a result, we're going to count them as two separate points. As we move into a world where social media sites and apps are changing their terms of service to be able to use anything we upload to their servers to train their AI tools, full video on that here, we need to be thinking twice about what we upload there. Look, deepfakes do have some positive uses. Disney is using the technology to bring actors back from the dead, as well as age actors without the need to sit in makeup for hours on end. Deepfakes also helped David Beckham support the Malaria Must Die campaign in 9 different languages. We also got this baller episode of South Park, and much like most of you, I want to make a fake nude of myself because I think it will look better than reality. But putting those reasons aside, 96% of deepfakes have been created non-consensually, and 99% of them feature women. If I upload a copy of a song or part of a film, that gets flagged in seconds. That same software needs to be extended to everyone's deepfakes. You shouldn't need to be Taylor Swift to get that level of support. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next week. Godspeed.